And Scott Satterfield doesn't have that. And doesn't seem to connect to that. But also doesn't win any of these games that matter and that leave a sting and that leave an impression. And until they do, we're going to get these calls right here. And I think the dangerous thing for Scott Satterfield is, what in the world could I say to Joel? Like, there's nothing I could say to Joel if I was some sort of a propaganda outlet. Like, there is nothing I could say to Joel right now.
Lauren K.
To really say course of the way through year 3, this ain't it. Louisville would not be crazy for making the call that they would make if they would have listened to exactly what Joel just said. And I don't have an answer, and I kind of pride myself on having an answer. But if you are one of those fans, one of these fans, a fan who has reached a place where you're just like, I'm done with this, like, what am I supposed to say to that? No, it's going to get better. What's the world's my argument for that it's going to get better? Also, it's not my job to provide an argument that it's going to get better. It's his, and he's not.
You know what?
And until it gives me something,
I'm changing this right now.
These post-game shows right here. Jansen. I hope I got that right. Jansen is next. Jansen, welcome into your Villa Live.
Yeah. What's going on, Mark? What's going on? Hey, all I want to say is, I heard Scott talking about at the post-game about, how he's, excited.
I'm changing the sign, y'all.
We're in the game towards the end. The point of any competition.
It used to say danger zone.
Baseball, even chess. It ain't to be in the game. It's to win the
I'm
game.
changing.
You feel? You know what I mean?
I'm changing the sign as we speak.
After 3 years of
From danger zone.
Suffer like this, it's just like how many times are you gonna keep saying that? Go out and recruit. Get some good defensive players.
It's not about
come
recruiting.
in here and play football.
It's not about recruiting.
Football. And I know we're struggling with the injuries and things like that, but that really just hurt me as a Dollar Louisville fan to hear him say, he's happy and glad that we're in the game towards the end. It's not to be in the game; it's to get wins.
ATL, sorry.
Thank you. You are exactly right. And let's be clear about something. It's not Scott Satterfield's job to raise fine young men. It's just not. These players have moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles and churches and friends and whatever else. And so the fact that he might do some of that, and I know that he does a lot of that.
I agree, Vaughn.
He values it. And I don't slight, make fun of any of that. But you cannot buy yourself indulgences of being like a good proxy parent to these
Coaches.
kids and use that as some sort of thing that buys you patience when you don't do the thing that's supposed to be your job. You're supposed to be whatever it is, like your vision of kind of a coach as Ted Lasso / Brené Brown, person that connects with players, but it's all supposed to be in the service of winning games. And so it's not supposed to be one or the other.
No disrespect, Mark, but don't want to listen to that. Here's the thing, y'all. Give me listen, Mark, you give me a couple more of these. And listen, y'all just got to put up with the sound. I don't want to hear the shit either, honestly. I don't want to hear the sound. But the rules is the rules. Okay. I mean, y'all just let me get warmed up. Here's what's funny, y'all. And Lauren, you will find this funny. So basically, my whole day, I've been rehydrating, overhydrating, trying to eat, trying to clean, exercise, just to make sure I was ready for the night. Y'all, let me tell y'all something I did today. Just so y'all can have an idea of what the game watching experience was like. Today I did something. Actually, I owe an apology right now. I'm gonna say this apology so y'all can hear it. I'm sorry for hanging up on you. I shouldn't have did that. I had to apologize for hanging up on somebody. Y'all curious to know who I hung up on? Y'all want to know who I hung up on? Y'all, Satterfield has beat up Steve Rummage so bad that I fucking was listening to Steve Rummage and I couldn't stand to hear Steve Rummage and Steve was so hurt. He was so hurt when I was talking to him that I looked at the phone and I hung up the phone on him. That's how much he was hurting. Sure did. And he did it with a quarterback that's not half as good as Malik. I can't say anything that attaches to the Detroit Lions. This is what Steve said, y'all. Steve responded. He said it was fair and needed to be done, right? Then the next message said, now turning off your phone or turning your phone off was quite cruel, is what I know he meant to say. And he's right. I hung up on him and turned off the phone. Cause that's how fucking miserable he was. That's how miserable he was. And here's the thing, y'all. I'm not going to talk about this in hyperbole tonight. I am very clear-headed. I have emotion, but I'm not emotional when we talk about this tonight. Kyle, when you say we, not tonight. Tonight, we pulled back the curtain. Oh, it's terrible, Cardinal Can. Yeah, Car's 93, fact. I mean, you could run a fucking speed option. You didn't try the shovel pass. You didn't try any fucking thing. Anything. But here's the problem, y'all. And I guess I could just jump straight to it. Y'all show me some love to the channel. Y'all show. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Y'all get me cocktailed up. So I'll just jump straight into it. Okay. You know what y'all saw today? You saw a non-Power 5 head coach. Not only did you see a non-Power 5 head coach, you saw it from leadership all the way down. You saw a program that's not being run like a Power 5 program. When I said danger zone, tonight basically undid 20 years of football growth. Crackthorpe set it back. Put it this way. And I know y'all hate to say it. Y'all, listen, if y'all are dug in, you're dug in. Don't waste your time arguing with me about it. With the Brom win today, you have a window of probably 2 weeks. If you don't get Jeff Brom in within 2 weeks, the program is done. If you don't get Jeff Brom in 2 weeks, this program is finished. Sorry. It's done. I'm telling you, he beat the number 2 and number 5, 2 and 3. He beat them, and he beat them convincingly, creatively. Listen, when he told you he liked what he had at Purdue and he didn't want to go there and have to build in the facilities and just leave all the guys in year 2, that was year 2 that we tried to get Brom back here, right? I mean, he couldn't have been there 2-3 years. That would have been quick. Him talking to us was worse than what Satterfield did with the South Carolina thing. He was talking to us. Satterfield said, going back to South Carolina, going back to that region is why he had to listen. We thought we had Brom. We knew he had Brom. He really looked at the job at home. He did worse than what Satterfield did for us. You got 2 weeks. And here's the thing. I'm gonna eat my apple or eat my fucking fruit and whatever planters, whatever snack, whatever healthy snack that I'm gonna start eating, and I'm gonna watch this next 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, if your program doesn't get to Brom within 2 weeks, Jeff Brom is going to be the most sought after recruit in the country. And it's the equivalent to fucking Daryl Griffith's son who wants to come to Louisville and we're teasing him. It'll be the worst miss in history. It's having a coach saying, "Oh, I don't want Daryl Griffith's kid, playing here because it's too much attention." You got 14 days. If you don't make a full bat signal push for Jeff Brom, y'all, us, the football program is fucked. Next year's schedule sucks. Y'all not gonna care about Satterfield. Listen, and y'all know me. It's okay not to be a Hall of Famer. It's okay. But your personality has not changed one bit. Listen, again, I already said the other week, I thought people were going hard in the Wake Forest game about Shaq not going crazy. After tonight, they treated him like a fucking punk. Those referees treated him like a fucking punk. Pardon my language. Listen, I didn't go to the game. I watched it. And I watched those referees go negotiate with Dabo Swinney the entire time. They talking to Dabo. They trying to talk to him. He fucking giving them the talk to the hand. Nah, that's stupid. Get the fuck out of here. He talking to them like that the whole game. Satterfield's been here 3 years. They know they can punk him. And I'm not being mean. I'm not being mean. I watched it. I watched his mannerisms. I watched the referees try to calm down Dabo. Oh, coach, we're trying to get this straight. I watched them communicate. Listen, on that almost touchdown by Clemson, I watched the official call it was out of bounds. Then I watched them huddle up to talk about if he called out of bounds on the touchdown. Because if they were going to review and somebody came in and called touchdown, they would have been able to confirm the touchdown. I watched them negotiate what they were calling against Clemson. I watched Satterfield. I watched it. Like I said, I mean, we can talk about the goal line, but here's the problem. Y'all remember when I told you it works all the same in sports. I don't know why. Like, I don't have to narrow my expertise about a particular sport. Y'all saw Cameron. Jalen Reeves-Maybin's 5 years in. Y'all saw the videos I played. Cameron Maybin did like 17 years. It doesn't matter the sport. Some things transcend the sport. The respect level transcends the sport. In every sport, like basketball or football or fucking soccer, to nutmeg somebody, you have to get them to plant their feet. You can't nutmeg people going. The quickest way to get past a person in soccer is to go straight at them. Give them one of these and keep on going straight. That's kicking the ball between their legs for people that don't know. The fastest way to get past a soccer player is to attack him and make him plant his feet, and you kick it right through his legs. Wiggle, wiggle, go right through his legs. Basketball. Going left, you got to go around people. Going right, you got to go around people. You give him that, you get him leaning, and then you attack. If he leans, you attack. In football, you can get people leaning and then run over them. But the next time you come, they plant their feet. That's when you can load up like you're going to run over them. They plant their feet, and then you can fucking go. It's the same athletic premise. It's plyometrics 101. I can teach you how to jump. I can teach you how to attack a defender in any sport. In a wide receiver. If the referee says hut and the wide receiver start dancing, he's not effective. The wide receiver has to attack the defender, get him going, then shake him up. It's the same thing in basketball, football. It's the same motions. It's the same footwork. When I told you 3-4 weeks ago, they're not making defenders plant their feet. So you'll never be a real effective. Your line was blowing Clemson off the ball all day long. The commentators is like, Jesus, this is a healthy offensive line. You blowing them off the line all day long. You can't help but to get cute. When I say that is because your mentality is, this is Clemson, and you still think you're playing them with Appalachian State players, where you got a misdirection and get a fast guy over there. You're still thinking like that. And this is not me. I'm putting a mannequin on the sideline. It's not the person, Scott Satterfield. It's the mentality of the player that I watch. Think about this. If I watch you run over a guy against Clemson, but you won't run over a guy against North Carolina State, you gotta mature. You gotta listen. That's a coaching issue. That's why Coach Mack doesn't put in guys who make that same pick and roll mistake. I'm not gonna let you get on the court and then start trying to play better. You gotta get consistency. You don't get to try out on the court. So I mean, football. Like I saw you, Sam. We were in 3rd and 2s all day long. I don't care if you got the first down. I don't care if Malik had to do some crazy, step up in the pocket and then get the no. That doesn't work at this. That doesn't work at this level. You're always one pick away with that style of play. Sorry. It's a fact. And y'all know I'm fair. Yeah. Was that look long at UNC when they Cam Brown? I don't care. Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, this ain't about Satterfield. This is about your program. Your program is dying. Your football program is dying right now, right in front of your eyes. Well, listen, y'all, fuck what you talking about. I told you, if y'all don't let Rick Pitino and Tom Jurich get a fair trial, I know y'all mad at him, but if you don't let somebody get a fair trial, you're done. You're done. You're done. When you let somebody get muted because you don't agree with them, you're fucking done. Just because you don't agree, you think somebody shouldn't have a voice. You're mad at Rick Pitino and Tom Jurich. You don't think they should have a voice or a fair trial. You saw this coming a mile away. You saw this coming. Vince Tyra was not doing a favor by taking this job. It's been lucrative for him, his daughter, his family. It's lucrative. He made a lot of money doing this shit. He's a Kentucky alum. He has nothing to lose here. The worse he does, the greater he's embraced by his family. He got nothing to lose. He didn't grow up wanting to be an AD. Like that was his career goals. He told you the story. I went in there to go talk to this fake president, and I came out to AD. You don't got no pressure on him. Should I go get another Satterfield? I mean, I don't even like this was just a thought. This was a thought I had. Y'all remember when board gets reorganized? Y'all remember when the Yum Center, they just told y'all in the newspaper that Tom Jurich was a meanie head with the Yum Center deal, and it was too favorable to the university. And because y'all were mad at Tom Jurich, you didn't raise any hell about that, about the reshaping the entire. Y'all realize we got money problems now because and don't get mad. You fucking fired Petrino. You gave him a buyout. You had to pay Thomas buyout. Don't get mad at them. They had contracts. You didn't even give them a fair trial on their exit. You pay that. But here's the problem. When you let them reorganize that Yum Center deal, you fucking lost the lifeline. You lost the lifeline of money. You lost a revenue stream because you didn't like Tom. That's what I'm saying. It's not about who you like. It's what's legal, what's fair. Y'all get in your feels and you make stupid Twitter posts and social media and all that. You do stupid shit when you're emotional about who you just. And then you know what? The point of that story was $8 million new screen. What is that new screen going to benefit the Yum Center? The $8 million new screen in the Yum Center. What is that going to benefit the University of Louisville? Because you remember, the fucking shit got the whole deal got ripped up and redone. So that $8 million. What if somebody said this Louisville has to pick up the $8 million Yum Center tab on the screen? You know who benefits from that? The Yum Center and WWF Wrestling and these concerts and all these performers and all the people that run the Yum Center on this big expense. But you know what they tell you? Oh, it's for the basketball. I don't even know who put that bill. But it wouldn't surprise me if I heard that came out of the Louisville budget. So could you imagine you need to hire a coach because you underpaid an Appalachian State FCS coach, and now you're seeing his FCS style is not effective at this level, and now you're looking at more buyouts and got to spend more money on coaches, but $8 million just went into the screen down at the Yum Center, which you don't have the good deal anymore. You got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to get Brown. Or it's going to look like y'all are sabotaging this program. It's going to look like the program is being bled dry. It looks wonderful. It looks wonderful. But who does it look wonderful for? The money's down low. It's going to sit there and look at that. The people who sit there and look at the screen, they're going to sit at home most games. Repeat, $8 million screen expansion is for people who'd rather look at the games at home most of the time. I'm not doing it on purpose here. I mean, stop me when I'm not telling the truth, though. No. Don't say left. Don't say left. He did not get a proper trial. He did not get a fair trial. And y'all let the media convince you that he was doing something dirty. And you didn't back him up. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Let me give y'all a good big one too. Hold on. Okay, when you decide to hire, okay, this is how it works. When you decide to hire a coach from a lower level, he doesn't get the same. Okay, in any sport, when you hire a college coach to coach an NBA team, Rick Pitino was one of the most respected coaches in the sport of basketball. And you moved him up a level to the Boston Celtics. And the errors that you can get away with in college, you can't get away with here. So, and I'm talking about in a leadership role. Okay, so Vince Tyree brings in Satterfield. The risk reward is when you bring in a big time coach, you got to get a big time coach. You got to shut up for about 3 years. When you bring in a coach who's done it at this level, he's done it at the SEC thing. He's been to a playoff. You bring in that kind of coach, he has 2 crappy years. You got to shut up. Because he looks at y'all like, y'all remember how arrogant Charlie was? And I'm saying that in a way, a confident way. Thank you. I'm saying that in a confident way. When Charlie came in, he looked at that fucking nutrition bar. He like, get that shit out of here. Nah, we don't do smoothies. We don't do smoothies and granola nutrient bars. Get that whole cocktail party bar out of here. And we like, damn, you know. But I'm coming from Florida. It's done different at major levels. He came in looking at people like peons. Like, we're gonna fix this. Y'all should have seen, and I'm talking to y'all from personal experience. Charlie Strong called me on a Sunday. I had been trying to tell them about Jalen Reeves-Maybin for 3 years. I'm sending CDs over there 3 years. Not 3. 2. First year, check him out. End of the first year, hey, check him out, and he'd be interested immediately. Boom. Random Sunday. I know a lot of y'all heard this story. Random fucking Sunday. He's just like learning how to drive. He's with his mom. They riding around Tennessee. You know, if anybody knows Clarksville's near Hopkinsville, you get on Western Kentucky Parkway and Penny Route Parkway. You up to Louisville in 2.5 hours. What you doing? Dad, what you doing? Nothing. Chilling. What you doing? Riding around with mom. What y'all up to? Shit, we gonna come up there. I ain't doing that shit. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Just so happened, Sunday, Charlie Strong called me that day. Hey, you know, heard you got a young fella. But by now he's already kind of messing with Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Heard you got a young fella. I look up, I'm like, as a matter of fact, I do. Right? And they like, can we get a number? Can we talk to him? Blah, blah, blah. You think he'd be interested? I said, absolutely. Look, I'm like this. Look, I'm looking like the boss. I'd absolutely think he'd be interested. Well, you think sometime we could set up a schedule, kind of meet him or something? Like, as a matter of fact, he's right here. Oh, really? Well, you got any time? You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. We go meet him. Y'all should have saw the way he was talking to him. He look at him. He size him up. We sit down. Listen. The way men like to, moms, you know what moms do? And this is traditionally, so I'm generalizing. To me, these are gender roles, which I have no problem with saying they exist. Men joke around with they little boys. When they little boys got the muscles, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes men go, man, I see you. And then sometimes they go, and they squeeze little boys' little muscles, and they be like, you better start doing some push-ups. And then moms come in and say, don't say that to him. He has big muscles. And men and dad be like, shit, in his head. You know what I'm saying? That's just this is the balance, and this is the circle of life. This is what I was raised under. If your life wasn't like that, fine, argue with me later. But most people experience uncles, aunts, whatever. Hey, muscles. Oh, baby, you got the big muscles. Dads be like, boy, you're a little flappy, ain't you? Point being, the way Charlie Strong was like, yeah, man, we're gonna have to put about 60 pounds on you. Just the way he's sizing him up, just talking to him like that. Like, hey, to play, play big level, you want to go to the league, you're gonna have to, just as real as it gets. Just looking at, think about this. This is a kid you recruiting, and you telling him to his face, you got a long way to go, but I get you there. Just that kind of attitude. Listen, I will say, I knew that the love 'em up year was necessary, but I expected after the love 'em up year for it to go into a no excuses. And then you get the COVID, of course. But your post-COVID year, I didn't see what I was hoping was really you. I thought you were a disciplinarian. You were, a downhill physical guy. Because when Tennessee played Appalachian State, Jalen told me. But then, now that I realize this, I'm like, well, how did they lose so many games in their conference or whatever? Then it was like, so the teams that know you and you play normal, you get, like I said, they still win. They still won, divisions and all that stuff. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying you haven't made the proper adjustment in your physicality to impose anything on these teams. You're still, like I said, when you go in a press conference, coach, when you say, oh, they gave us this look, so we did this. It's like, yeah, you can't really do that here. You go impose and then make them adjust to you. And I'll even say this, this is not, just so you know, it's not a crust session. That score before the halftime, you in this little kind of, little prevent, Chandler Jones doesn't catch that ball. I'm not putting that on defense. I'm not putting play calling on defense. Again, Satterfield, if you're not scoring, you can't play complimentary football if you're not scoring. The way you were moving the ball, running it, they knew if they blitzed the run one time, you stop running it. Blitz first down, you pretty much stop running it. Or you do a trick run. Even though sometimes they were blitzing the run and you still were popping good yards for it. And I'm watching it. And again, this is not, I'm not a master tactician, but I can tell when you're overthinking and getting cute. You have the ball 1st and 10 from the 2 and you run the fourth down play from the 6. I just saw you do that, dude. I just saw you do that. I saw that play on the penalty at North Carolina State. That was a fucking bullshit call. We all knew it. You've been running this ball downhill. That's why I said either you're trying to run up Malik's stats, or you're thinking with the FCS mentality playing against North Carolina State, FCS playing against Clemson, FCS playing against so-and-so, you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, no, I have the dominant line. I fucking wish you would stop me 1st and 2. 1st and 2. I fucking wish I would. Listen, run some misdirection. Run the jet sweep, fake. I'll even settle for a shuffle pass. But that shit you pulled, just let my athlete try to make a play, and we saw it at North Carolina State. These are, listen, we've had 4, and I'll give credit. But here, I have to give credit and then take it back away because your play calling with the lead dictates it remains a close game. So you trust your quarterback when he's losing, but you don't trust him when he's up 14 or up 7. You know what I'm saying? It's just facts. And again, this is not personal. Nobody wanted him to succeed more than me. But you give certain benefits of the doubt to all coaches. Because I know coaching is the hardest. Think about it. Everything I know about sports and athletes and all my family and everything I know, I'm like a judge. I recuse myself from coaching because I know I'm not a good jury for y'all. You know what the biggest travesty? You know what the biggest travesty of tonight is? Nobody really gives a fuck that Kentucky lost to Tennessee. It's the biggest travesty of the entire night. No, because there is absolutely zero confidence that he can even be on the floor with Kentucky. I gotta go find one score, y'all. I gotta find one score. Y'all probably know what score it is, but this is just for my little. Hold on, this is just for my little. Okay. So listen to this, y'all. Listen to how fucking pitiful this is. Okay, y'all know my Okay, y'all. Yes, he's better than crack door. Okay, y'all know what I do. Y'all know what brings me excitement. Y'all have been following me for long enough. Y'all been supporting the channel. Y'all been, we've been growing together, right? Let me tell y'all what happened today. Everything. Okay, I'm gonna say something and it's gonna sound arrogant, but what I'm saying is the truth. And this is me talking to loser mentalities. Okay? Now I'm going to do this for y'all. I'm going to do this for y'all in particular. Chrome tab, just pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. SEC scores. Okay, my rival is Kentucky. My rival beat Missouri, and they were pounding their chest. Missouri got dog walked by Georgia, 43-6. And I know what y'all saying. It's Georgia. Kentucky broke that spread by pulling out all the stops, and all the football schools lost all the respect for Kentucky after they pulled what they did. Okay, but Kentucky started off with a bang, beat Missouri. We see what that is. Okay, LSU lost to Alabama. LSU is now 4-5 and 2-4. Also, LSU lost to Kentucky. They lost to Kentucky and they had to fire their coach. But here's the fucking point. Here is the real point. Y'all don't realize Alabama's playing with a transfer linebacker from like Tennessee. Alabama is suffering from the transfer market the same way. Alabama is down this year. They lost to Texas A&M. We gave we gave Florida props because Florida kept the game close against Alabama. So we fucking bumped up Florida as a team because y'all are scared to say to a Kentucky fan, the SEC sucks this year. So LSU it loses by 6 to Alabama, and y'all say they're fighting for LSU, they're fighting for the coach. No, Alabama's down. If LSU and Florida kept it to a 6-7 game, why y'all so scared to say they're down this year? When you don't have awesome quarterback play, you're down. Let's fast forward to the next one. Texas A&M, number 14. They're 7-2, and they beat Alabama. Now we look at, Texas A&M is so good because they beat Auburn. Auburn 6-3. Auburn out here getting their ass kicked. But we put Texas A&M 14 off of the Alabama win. Oh, what do we have here? Liberty, Ole Miss. Now, I'll be fair. Ole Miss let their foot off the gas against Liberty. I'll be fair. But that's still Liberty, y'all. That's Malzahn, a good coach, but that's still Liberty. This is Malzahn returning home for a game. So I'll let off the Ole Miss. Mississippi State, who beat Kentucky. Mississippi State is number 17 because they beat Kentucky. Mississippi State lost to 6-3, 2-3, a 2 SEC win, Arkansas. Y'all scared to say it. Now we go to the bottom. Tennessee. Tennessee is 5-4. Tennessee lost at home to Pittsburgh. Tennessee lost at home to Pittsburgh. They're 5-4 and they beat Kentucky in Kentucky. Y'all scared to say it. It's a shit schedule in the SEC this year. I'm sorry, I respect SEC more than anybody that's on any airwaves. But they are able to have down years. Bad decision at quarterback, 1 or 2 bad decisions at key positions, and it all equals out. South Carolina has a grad assistant playing quarterback. Not a grad transfer. South Carolina has a grad assistant who they realized still had some eligibility. And they were up 30-10 at halftime and won 40-17 against this Florida team that y'all wanted to get on the nipple of Kentucky because their whole franchise has changed. And Marcus and Steve have to say, what if LSU and Florida and South Carolina and Missouri suck? What if they're 2s on this 10-point scale? What if Kentucky's a 4 on the 10-point scale? This is facts. Do y'all realize that Kentucky basketball team that was down to Miles is number 10 in the country? Halfway because of y'all. You won't get on and say they suck or they're not impressive. All right, I hope you're wrong. Because it's the truth. Brian Hudson, this is good as advertised. Our O-line, we're talking. Yes, Enzo. That's the point. That's the point. And yes, listen, Miss 13 Miler, it's a fact. Sorry. It's narratives is what I'm pointing out. I sent him an invite. He jump in here. Let's see. Probably sleep. %. Don King, 100%. Because here's the problem. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. Okay, put it this way. You know what critical mass is? Critical mass is 4th and 2. I'm sorry. You're down 6 points and you're on the goal line. You're down 6 points on the goal line at home. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Lamar Jackson. I already called him. He didn't answer. You got Lamar Jackson on the goal line. You run horizontal. Your offensive line has been dominating going downhill. This is going to be the most embarrassing attendance for Lamar Jackson jersey retirement in history. This is going to be like the worst ego shot to the football fan base you have ever seen. Here's the problem, though. You're going to have to spend your whole week apologizing ahead of time to Lamar. Dude, it's not going to be personal. It's not going to be personal. Yeah, like the lifeblood is sucked out of the football program. Malik has been playing awesome for the most part. Like I say, he had a couple of down moments, but you cost Malik wins. So that's this is like one of so when you say critical mass, that's what critical mass is. You got, like I said, you got the biggest event. Like this should be the biggest event. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. These losses prevent that game from being a big time game because and listen, we're putting the Virginia, that's on you. Virginia's on you. North Carolina State, we're right on the goal line. You got cute. That's on you. Our kids came to play for all these games. We didn't come to play to Mississippi. We didn't come to play for Mississippi. They got 14 days to lock, not publicly, but they got 14 days to lock Brom in. Y'all do realize, like, Brom's going to be the #1 recruit in the country. And we have an inside track. But here's how it works with locals. Local people pressure local recruits. If you're a basketball recruit, all people want to know is, are you going to Tennessee? In my case, are you going to Tennessee? Are you going to Tennessee? There's 2 answers. Yes, or yes if they recruit me. Those are the only answers when you're a #1 recruit. Your state, are you going to Tennessee? Once you answer yes if they recruit me, guess where everybody's eyes go? Straight to Tennessee. He's a top recruit, and they just said yes if he recruits me. There's no more eyes on the recruit anymore. All the eyes on Tennessee or the organization. Jeff Brom is going to be a number one in-state recruit. And when asked, when Jeff Brom is having a beer, because he can't say it on the record. Y'all know he can't say it on the record. He cannot do that on the record. Off the record, he is going to be asked, do you want to come? Now, he has two answers, or maybe three, maybe two. He can't say yes. His first answer is yes if they recruit me. That's option one. Option two is no. After 14 days, option two is 99% the likely case. Because he has eyeballs. Listen, he's looking at y'all got Clemson on the ropes, 4th and 2. And as a coach, go back and look at his red zone possessions. Go back and look at his red zone. And here's the thing, y'all. If you don't like Brom, that's fine. But if you haven't watched a full game of Jeff Brom in the last 10 years or the last 2 years, don't waste your time commenting to me. And if you comment to me anyway, and I ask you, what game did you watch? And keep in mind, you might say I watched the Iowa game. Then I'm going to ask you about a particular play because I watched every minute of it. See, here's the thing. When y'all talking to me and Steve and you're just fine, y'all getting y'all shit from highlights. Y'all getting it from condensed versions. We're watching the games. We're watching the message boards. We're watching the people. We're talking to the people that know him. We're talking to the people that know his people. Like when we say, you got to get this guy, this is the only option. It's not because we're just like, oh, let's get some excitement. You think Marcus or Steve would be saying, go get Brom if you didn't know how many ways that this got to work? Yeah, we don't look at condensed and come on the radio and make hot takes. It doesn't work like that. So when you say you don't want Brom, and I say why, and you just say I just don't think he's a good fit, you don't know what you're talking about. That means you didn't study. You didn't study the situation. That means you're not studying the situation. I don't. He's had the most comfortable position on the planet. Y'all saw tonight, he had absolutely zero potential at a backup. Zero. It's another check mark. That's a fucking Appalachian State quarterback, coach. Evan Conley, I hung up on Steve because Steve was doubting Evan Conley, and I didn't want to hear all the doubt. Steve's in my ear telling me, Marcus, we saw when Evan came in against Miami. A rational conversation. We're not hating on the kid. We love these kids. We love the parents. We're not hating on the kids. So Steve's in my ear saying, Marcus, we saw him come in against Miami last year. We saw when he had to come in against Virginia last year. Watch this play. I watched the play. It looked the exact same as the play he came in against Boston College. They all looked the same. Coach Satterfield called the exact same plays, or what looked to be the exact same plays, to try to get Evan Conley a quick reception. Y'all think Malik was a one-read quarterback? Evan Conley been running this same system in his third year, and that's all he could do on a football field. Satterfield. Evan Conley, after 3 years, is an Appalachian State quarterback. Even the backup Like, why don't you have Shy Wertz as the emergency quarterback, where at least you know he can run for a first down? Evan Conley, you didn't even run the Wake Forest play. The Wake Forest play that made him, you haven't ran that play any single time, and you were on the left side of the field. He had the ball against Boston College on the left side of the field with Evan Conley. That was a short one. He comes in, he got the ball on the left side of the field. Jet sweep, dive, QB option. Evan Conley runs for 60 yards against Wake Forest. You didn't even run the play, that same play that got success. 3 times he's came in and you try to get the quick reset. You know he's not pulling that trigger. It's his 3rd year in the system. I said to Steve on the phone, I said, Steve, there is no way Evan Conley can be this incompetent after 3 seasons. That's when it hit the point where I hung up on Steve. Because I said there is no way Satterfield has been training Evan Conley for 3 years and he can look as incompetent as he did. That shit broke my heart. I know how hard it is for these kids. I know how hard it is. I know they're out there. That's what makes it even worse, because these kids are fighting their ass off. This shit break my heart. That broke my heart. My offensive line been pushing Clemson around. You ain't rewarding them. I said that at the beginning of the year. Every time Malik runs a short yardage touchdown, the commentators say Malik is Houdini. You know what they don't say? Jesus, this offensive line is beating Clemson the fuck up. But they always do it somewhere in the middle of the game. They say, I don't know why Satterfield just doesn't run it more. I mean, this offensive line looks to be in control of this game. 5 games, the commentators have said, this offensive line looks to be entirely in control of this game. Game after game. Y'all back me down because I say, you got to get that ball up. Running Malik to the wing to juke somebody. His ankle been hurt. Did you try to stretch him out to make plays against the most athletic players in college on Clemson's defense? On that 4th down, when Malik ran out and he got bumped, he got sacked, there was nobody in the vicinity. There was nobody. Me too. Like I said, I wanted that win so bad. I literally hung up on my boy. And I don't hang up on people. That's how much he was dragging me. And like, I'm compassionate for him. He was dragging me into the fucking pit of fan hell. Excuse my language. Steve Rummage. Listen, and I'm open-minded. Listen, I've been dealing with his moods for 5-6 years. I've been dealing with his daily moods for 5 or 6 years. And today was the day that his fucking mood got to me so bad that I hung up on my boy right in his fucking face. That apology I sent was genuine. I hung up on my boy and I fucking turned off my phone. I don't do that. That's how fucking pissed off Steve was. That's how much it was hurting me to listen to him like that. That shit was terrible, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. As I'm watching Rocky Top beat Kentucky. And it wasn't a surprise because I've been telling you the SEC is down. Don't worry about it, y'all. Hoping my coach decides he has the best offensive line in the ACC this year. Right here in Louisville, we have the best offensive line in the ACC. And every time we get to the red zone, we look like we are trying to run up a Malik touchdown number. And listen, don't get me started. Again, it's not emotion talking. Running up numbers at particular players has been said by former players. Former players believe Satterfield has been trying to run up stats on particular players to look like an offensive genius. It's like getting empty stats on guys. And you know what I called them? I call those guys disgruntled ex-players. Then I watch another year. And I watch us beat the fucking team into submission running the ball. And get down there on the goal line and watch us run bubble screen option reads 6 yards off the goal line when the ball is getting snapped at the 2. Multiple games. Here's the thing, too. I'd be happy if we brought a new coach in and the kids decided to stay. I'd be thrilled. This is not flopping. This is me giving a coach every benefit of the doubt possible until you can't give a coach the benefit of the doubt at some point. Yes, we have a lot of young guys. Evan Conley has been here 3 years. Malik Cunningham has been 3 years. These things can't be denied. Our offensive line is the best offensive line in the ACC. Those 3 things don't at me, bro. They're not even a conversation. It's not even a discussion. We have a 4th-year junior Malik that every other school outside of North Carolina and Pittsburgh would kill. Do y'all see what's going on at these other schools and their quarterback situations? You think North Carolina State wouldn't bench Leary in a New York City minute for Malik? And Malik was hurt, and he came back. Probably took an injection or something. It's facts. Like this, yeah, lighten up the scoreboard, not lighten up the stats. Like I said, I thought they needed that. Yeah, has been here for. Yeah, that was my point. Devin, that was my point. You've been here 4 years. And at that position, listen, Marshawn been here 3 years. Our playmaker positions. We got some dudes. Our line, we got an adult line. We are the best offensive line. And you put it in Malik going horizontal against the Clemson defense. Goal line. We don't have a one running back who's willing to take one dive. You just go Malik outrunning Clemson defenses to the corners. Lamar's experience is going to be pathetic. It is going to be pathetic. I am already embarrassed ahead of time. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not rooting for this. Y'all know that. It's going to be pathetic. This man is getting an early jersey retirement. And you know what? It's going to look like a gimmick now. Because of what happened, it's going to look like a gimmick. It's going to look like they're trying to get fans in the stands now. Yeah, Malik's mom feels like he's ready for the league. He's not transferring. He's not transferring so he can have to compete at another school. And again, this is me I'm not just trying to crap on nobody. Quote, another tough one, but I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of our guys too. I think the coach let them down. Listen to this. ABC's always be closing. Tweeted by 35th Kentucky Sports. Week 6, fourth quarter, outscored 18-0. Week 6 against Virginia, outscored 18-0 in the fourth. Led in all fourth quarters. Week 9 at North Carolina State, outscored 18-0 in the fourth quarter. Week 10, Clemson, outscored 13. It's okay to give up points against desperate teams, but the zero part is what you have to admit. The zero part is you, bro. The zero part's you. You're leading. Of course, teams gonna start winging it. When people get desperate, they gotta start winging it. We lost by 6 and had the ball on the 2-yard line with 4 plays. That, I swear, y'all, that is FCS mentality. Period. Tell me what I'm missing. That's funny. That'll devalue the ticket. If you let fans in for free, you would have to have fans in for free, and you would have to give away Louisville gear signed by Lamar Jackson for free to get them in there in that stand. That special teams been playing good. I disagree. They both, Hassan, Mitchell, Berkeley, all were running good, and they were running behind their pads. Okay, how many big plays did he hit, Tyrone? How many big throws did he make? How many big runs did he make the entire game? That's what I'm saying. It's like, The final score. You gave up 15 in the fourth quarter to Clemson. How much did you give up in the fourth quarter? You hold the team that long. You gave up 13 in the fourth quarter and scored 0. You don't think Satterfield should have had 2 touchdowns with a dominant offensive line in the fourth quarter? He scored 0 points in the fourth quarter. You wrong on this one. You wrong. And I hate that you're wrong on this one. I hate being right on this one. Yes, because from game to game, you have to make adjustments. You can say this game, that game, but at some point, okay, if I say excuse, on the third game, it's like you got to remember there's an excuse, but what you saw on the field says maybe this is the standard. So the fourth time you do it, you say, nah, I was making excuses. This is the standard. Your play calling was the standard. After 4 blown lead games, giving up fourth quarter leads, this play calling is the standard. Then you start coupling it with last year. That's the standard. There's a moment where, like, okay, if you have a scale, you pour in something in one and then you start pouring in another. And at some point, you realize there's more of this, a lot more of this than there is that. I feel really bad for Lamar. I feel bad for the football program moving forward. Actually, I feel bad for the former players the most. 20 years. 20 years that I've seen with my own 2 eyes. 20 plus years, probably 23 years with my own 2 eyes. And you got Jeff Brom right here on the cusp. Somebody told me, I don't know if this is true or not, but just tell me what y'all think. I don't know if this is true, but I'm just asking y'all. Did y'all see the quarterback lineage of all the great quarterbacks to come through Louisville? Did they leave Jeff Brom off that? Like, if Jeff Brom has a jersey up there and they did a quarterback lineage thing and didn't put him up there, would y'all think that was done on purpose? Or just a omission? By the way, why is it Michael Bush's name up there with a jersey? It's making the Lamar thing look more and more like a gimmick every day. I'm gonna find out who paid for the $8 million renovation of the screen in the Yum Center. Not that I want to be a conspiracy theorist with it, but I want to know. Yeah, it's like you. I mean, how many times you gonna say, "Okay, D, make a stop"? Y'all were saying defense make a stop from the beginning of the third quarter. Y'all were saying, "Okay, defense, just give me one stop. Defense, just give me one stop." Y'all said that 17 times. Defense give up a touchdown. See, they answered your. Listen, the defense answered your get up prayer between Virginia, Wake, Clemson, and whoever else. I heard y'all praying. I could literally, I tapped into y'all phone line between you and the sports gods, and I heard y'all saying, just get a stop here. Just get a stop here. And I watched them get a stop. And I watched the ball go back to the offense. And I watched us not capitalize on having the best running offensive line in the league. And then I saw y'all reset the bar. Okay. I know y'all gave me that stop, but just give me one more stop. And I watched 3 and 4 stops. I watched 3 and 4 defensive stops in a row. And every single time y'all said, come on, Sack, you got to give me something. You got to give me something. Nope. And then on that 5th time, the defense gives up a touchdown. Oh, God. Oh, we can't stop anybody. Twitter. Our defense can't stop anybody when we need a stop. You need a stop on those first 4. You got the ball back to Satterfield over and over again. Your calling card is scoring. You're not scoring. I swear to God, you cannot show any decent team your defense 15, 20 plays in a row. That's 4 and outs. Your defense cannot disguise everything forever. Y'all know how hard it is for a cornerback to not know where the receiver's going, and only the receiver knows where he's going, and not you. And they're fast, and you gotta read his mind and make a stop. And y'all give him 25 chances to go at me. No, we don't roll over and die, Lauren. But here's the thing. Okay, first of all, I don't think he'll say no. Second of all, if he did say no, it doesn't change the fact that Satterfield is what he is. And again, Lauren, let's be clear. I don't think Satterfield can't get better. Let's be clear about that. If it wasn't Brom, I'd be comfortable dealing with Satterfield another year. I wouldn't like it. I would be really apathetic about it. But unless you got a coach that you know can work, and I know Brom can work. And again, if you don't get him in 2 weeks, he's going to be the biggest free agent in all of college football. Like I said, I don't fire Satterfield not knowing who my next guy is. Y'all realize? Y'all know who Purdue got next? Do y'all know who Purdue plays next? Somebody tell me who Purdue plays next. Think about this. Brom's gonna lose to Purdue or to Ohio State, and somebody's gonna be on my chat room saying, "See, I told you Brom ain't got it." After he beat Iowa and Michigan State. And let's not forget, he does his no spring game thing. Y'all remember he said after he saw all the exposure the other teams got, he probably should do a spring game. Y'all remember that? And again, Lauren, I don't fire him and start a coaching search. This is not that kind of job. This is also not the kind of job where you can have a Lamar Jackson jersey number retirement ceremony and it's going to be 23,000 people there. This program can't take that hit. But this is exactly what it's going to be. And again, this is me just telling you. Like I said, I don't want y'all to be negative. Again, I hung up on Steve for being too negative. Steve was being completely honest with me, and I couldn't stand to hear it, so I hung up on him. Dunzo. So do you want Purdy? Tyrone, let me ask you this. Tyrone. And I swear to God, I ain't capping nothing. Tyrone, I'm going to ask you this question. And if you're honest with me, I won't say anything else. I'm begging you to be honest about this, about everything you know about Louisville football. Okay? Because I read this. Malik missed that guy on the last play of the game. Malik Cunningham on the goal line. Do you think Malik Cunningham is looking for a receiver when Malik Cunningham is on the goal line? Anywhere within 10 yards of the goal line. Do you think Malik Cunningham is even considering in his brain passing the ball? There's about a 3.4 chance out of 96.6. Out of 96.6, my math might be off. I've been drinking. There's a 96.6% chance that Malik is going to try to run the ball in the end zone. Tyrone, please type I agree in the comment section. Everybody who's in this chat room right now, if you agree with Tyrone and you think Malik just messed up the play because he was looking to pass or something, or he wasn't looking to pass or whatever, and my response is everybody who's been watching Malik Cunningham for these last 3 years knows there is less than a 4% chance Malik is looking to pass the ball inside the 10-yard line. If y'all agree with me, you can put MM. If you agree with Tyrone, put TW. And I'll read it. And if all y'all agree with Tyrone, then I'll say, you know what, Tyrone? Maybe I'm blinded by something. If you expected Malik Cunningham to make a pass read in the red zone with less than 5 yards to go, you have not been watching Louisville football for 3 years. If you don't think the plan was for Malik Cunningham to create something for himself on those play calls, you have not been watching Scott Satterfield or Malik Cunningham. Please, if y'all agree with me, type MM. You agree with him, type TW, and it'll be what it is. I watch these games 20 times per game. I watch replays 20 times. You think I don't see the way these offensive line don't even know what Malik's doing on the goal line. You think I don't watch the way they celebrate when a running back gets in there versus, you know, when Malik gets in the end zone, you know who celebrates? Marshawn and the other receivers who are blocking for him. Because receivers blocking for Malik on the goal line, they get credit. NFL scouts. Dez Fitzpatrick moved up the boards because of his blocking. Wide receivers don't mind because they know in the film room they're going to get kudos. Offensive linemen on the goal line, when Malik scrambles and gets in the end zone, you know what they say? God, without Malik, this team would be shit. You know what that tells the offensive lineman? Y'all really suck, but thank God you got Malik. When the offensive linemen blow a hole open for Mitchell, they celebrate like they won the championship. And this is subconscious, so don't, it's not a beef. It's not intentional. I watch these games 20 times in a row. I see the way people celebrate. I see the way the sideline celebrates a running back getting in the end zone. Even when the running back's humble. Tyrone, you think Malik Cunningham was looking to pass in the red zone? You think they call a pass play for Malik to pass the ball in on them 4 plays? Do you think one coach thought Malik was going to pass the ball in the red zone? They were hoping that Clemson would believe that Malik was going to throw the football. You know Dabo knew that Malik is trying to make a play. Anybody that watched this knows that. I've been saying, Gregory, I've been saying this for years. It got nothing to do with missing a wide receiver in the end zone. Nothing to do with end zone. You know Dabo knew that. Them linebackers pull the trigger the moment Malik breaks the pocket. Malik not throwing that ball. You going man to man and 3 linebackers coming for him. You know he ain't throwing that ball. He tell him undercut the route. There's less than a 5% chance he's gonna throw that ball in the red zone. Are y'all insane? He missed the guy in the end zone. No fucking shit. He missed the guy in the end zone. You watch Marshawn Ford roll out wide open all the time? No shit, he missed somebody in the end zone. We watch it. Tyrone, it's not personal. No fucking shit. Somebody was wide open in the end zone with Malik Cunningham with the ball in the red zone. That's why you take the ball out of his fucking hands when you got the ball on the 2. This is for you, Lauren. Sobriety test. In case any of y'all thought that I wasn't more than lucid about what I'm saying. No fucking shit. Somebody was wide open. A wide receiver was open. I would have fucking killed a Clemson player if he stayed with his wide receiver and Malik Cunningham's on the loose. I would have kicked him off the fucking team. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Malik's running wide and you stayed with the wide receiver. Are you stupid? This is why I can't coach. Because my favorite line, if I spend these hours going over this film and I give you this playbook and I give you what they're going to do, this is what he's going to do. This is where you need to be. And when he does what I tell you he's going to do, you go make the tackle. Now, if he cooks you out there, I'll pick you up myself. And in the film room, I'll say, you did the right thing. If one of those players stuck with the receiver and let Malik Cunningham jog into the end zone, I'd fucking kick you off the team so fast it'll make your head spin. I'll call your parents during the film session. And I hope your dad understands. I will say, sir, yeah, I just want to give you a heads up. I think we're going to be going in a different direction with your son. You know, he's immensely talented. I'm sure he'll have no problem finding a place. What is this about? Well, we just don't feel like he's locked into the game. He's not locked into the scouting report like he should be. You like an example? Okay, sir, I'll do this. Well, Mr. So-and-so, hey, our number one rule coming into this week. I'm sure you're familiar with the Louisville quarterback. His name is Malik Cunningham. Yeah, he's number 3, or whatever. So all week we went over red zone packages, and the moment Malik breaks the pocket, everybody is to pursue the quarterback because we went over Malik's last 3 years, and there's about a 5.9% chance that he'll pass the ball in the red zone. So with those odds, we say, hey, the minute he breaks the pocket, we all go get him. Well, sir, I'm sure you watched it. The game's on the line. Everybody knows this. You can look at the film. Every single one of my guys knew to attack Malik Cunningham. Your son is the one that decided he wanted to stay with the wide receiver. And it's like, sir, we spend a lot of time, and it's a lot of people that work hard, and it's a lot of guys that are, that have a future in this game. And if I can't get your son to respond to the number one, tactic we have, then he's just not a good fit for our program. So I just wanted to be the first to tell you, he'll probably be calling you. We've already alerted him that his scholarship will not be renewed next year. I'll be more than happy to help him find placement elsewhere. I know a lot of coaches in the SEC and the ACC. You have my number. You can let me know what level that he desires to play at, and I'll do my best to help him get there. But as far as him being a Tiger in the future, we decided as of today we're going to give some of our young guys a shot at that position, and we don't foresee him cracking that lineup at his position anymore. So is there any other questions you have for me? Yes, sir, I understand. I do understand that. No, sir. I mean, like I said, we've the game just ended an hour ago, so we have been basically breaking down film for the last hour. Yes, we let them know that. So yeah, no, sir, I'm sorry. There's this decision. My coaching staff supports me on the decision. The rest of the defense supports me on the decision. So there's really no reversal on this. Yeah. It's above me now. Yeah, we've already let our athletic director know. We've already let compliance know that moving forward, that scholarship will not be renewed. So they can start the paperwork on getting him cleared and waiver. Hey, we have the great one-time transfer rule, and I'm sure your son just needs a fresh start, and I'm sure he'll have an awesome college career and a professional career, and you'll be more than happy with this, move. And hey, sir, it's a lateral move. Don't worry, he'll make a lateral move, and he'll get a fresh start. But it's just our coaches kind of agreed it's time for us to go in a different direction. Yes, no, listen. Yeah, I appreciate your time, sir. I appreciate your patience. Feel free to call me anytime. And, hey, I'm really sorry things didn't work out. I appreciate everything he's done for the university. And, hey, don't hesitate to call me anytime. Anytime I can help. Okay? Okay, nice to talk to you. Delete Mr. So-and-so. Cool. If somebody didn't know Malik was going to try to run that ball. You insane? You bet your ass they did. Yeah, but he's not doing that. That's why you don't call that play. That's why you don't call that play. That's why you don't call. That's why you don't call that play. You did the same thing at North Carolina State. You called the exact same shit. I'm like I said, I'm not even bragging about his recruiting. I'm not bragging about recruiting. We're talking about strategy. Yeah, listen, use it. I'm getting fired. Because are you stupid? I'm gonna say that was a question. I'm gonna say that was a question. And if they answer, I'm gonna say that was rhetorical. Don't answer me, son, because I don't want compliance in here. I'm gonna rewind that and say, are you stupid? Are you stupid? You're guarding a wide receiver. All the film we done watched, son. I showed you 24 total touchdowns over Malik Cunningham's career. I showed you 24 touchdowns. And you thought out of the 22 times he ran the ball in, you thought this was going to be the time that he was going to pass it to the wide receiver, son? Are you fucking stupid? Go. What's your academic portal login? Okay, you're doing great in English. You're doing great in social studies. Math. You're struggling in math. You mean like when I tell you there's a fucking 4% chance? Son, do you not know what 4% is? That means, son, if I gave you 100 pennies, only fucking 4 of them are gonna go. So what would you rather have, son? Would you rather have the 4 pennies or the 96 pennies in your pocket right now? Okay, son. Well, if you would rather have the 96 pennies, then why the fuck? You know that wide receiver was the 4 pennies. And you chose to stick with the 4 pennies and give somebody else the 96 pennies. No wonder you're fucking failing math. Okay. History. Oh, you got a problem in history. You mean history like when I showed you that this kid has scored 65 touchdowns. This kid got more touchdowns than Lamar Jackson. You know who that is, speaking of history, right? You know who Lamar Jackson is? Yeah, okay. So this kid has more overall touchdowns than Lamar Jackson. And he got most of those touchdowns running the football in the red zone. So when you don't study your history, this is why you got a D in history. So it's no surprise that you're failing math because you would rather take the 4 pennies over the 96 pennies, and you fell in history because I can literally tell you over 3 years, this kid been in school 4 years, and I gave you every touchdown he got. And in the red zone, he runs 96% of them. And you obviously not a student of history. So yeah, there's, I'm not surprised that you're failing math and history. I should have known that. You know what? Sorry. Hey, where's our tutors? Was it Marvin Mitchell? Let's go get our academic advisor in here. We want to have a little meeting. Yeah. This is Cronsworth. Apparently he's not up to par in math and history. Oh, so you knew that? You know his lack of ability to compute math and history just cost us the game at the University of Louisville. Oh, you don't think you had anything to do with that? By not telling me that he can't compute a simple formula of 96%. You want to know what he did? He chose 4 pennies over 96 pennies. So you didn't think that was something I should know about going into this game? If you would have told me he thinks 4 pennies is better than 96 pennies, I'd have redshirted him. And maybe you can teach him by next year that he'd rather have 96 pennies than 4 pennies. History lesson. Okay, so you knew he was failing history. Or you thought it was a lack of focus. Or was that okay? Is that what he told you? Oh, okay. Well, do you realize that I gave him a 3-year history of one person, and he thought today was the day that history was going to rewrite itself? No. Not repeat itself. Today was the day he thought history was going to rewrite itself. And he decided to cover the wide receiver when a guy who I gave you 3 years of history on has only thrown to the wide receiver 4 out of 96 times. Yeah. So when people, so tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I have to go do a press conference. And I'm sorry, it's 12 o'clock. So tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I got to do a press conference. Is it okay if I bring up the academic advisor who didn't let me know that he has no idea of math or history? Would you like to come in and answer some questions along with me, so I could explain to them, why I thought a guy would know? I could give a guy 3 years of history and he'd do the right thing. Would you like to accompany me to my next press conference? Oh no, you wouldn't. Okay, so don't you think next time it'll be a good idea to let me know that that this guy doesn't understand simple mathematics and simple history, or he doesn't know how to apply it? Okay, no, I appreciate that. I just want to make sure you know ahead of time that next time it's probably better to give me the heads up that he doesn't have any idea of what 4% is, a 4% chance of somebody passing. So that's why we lost to Louisville. Do you realize we hadn't lost to Louisville in the entire history of all time? And today we lost to Louisville because Malik was running to the side. And this young man decided that today was the day he was going to cover the wide receiver instead of Malik. Yeah. So now we lost to Louisville for the first time in our football history today, because he didn't believe Malik Cunningham was going to try to run the ball in the end zone. Yeah, listen, you have a wonderful day. Please close that door on your way out. Thank you. I hope that ain't true. I really hope that's not true. Listen, Gregory, I just slipped that in there. I didn't think nobody caught it. I didn't think anybody caught it. Everybody, cheers to Gregory. Mm-mm. 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 Advisory capacity only. Lauren. Lauren. Here, this is an old deal of mine. Growing up, we weren't allowed to call people liars, right? I was like liar is like calling my brother dummy or something like that. There was just just a couple words that you weren't allowed to say in my household. And liar was one of them. You were not allowed to call anybody a liar. And that never, if you hear me say you're a liar today, even today as a grown man, if you hear me use the phrase liar, that means I'm really, really disappointed. If I call somebody a liar, like I said, unless there's a blatant sarcasm to my tone, if I call somebody a liar, that means we got a major, 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 major problem. And like I said, not just joke around. If I say you a liar, if I call somebody a liar, it's a big problem. So Lauren, in a past relationship, a girlfriend of mine was a liar. That's the nicest way I can put it. I dated a liar girlfriend. And not just like the lie. Okay. Lauren, I gotta tell the story. Not just like I'm lying to get out of trouble. Just a pathological liar to start stuff. Right? Like, I dated one of those girls who would lie and say, somebody told me this about what you're doing, or something like that. Just something like that. But it was just like a lie to get me unhinged or something, right? And I would explain to her, I'm like, listen, don't call me a liar. If you think I'm lying, you can be uncomfortable trusting me. But if you don't know I'm lying, don't call me a liar. It's just a big deal, right? And then what we agreed upon is, because I like her and she was just used to saying the word liar all the time. So we said, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll come up with a phrase to call somebody a liar. So, Lauren, a phrase in a relationship of mine, a former relationship of mine, we would both say, and we kind of like it turned into a joke. We would say, I'm not saying you're a liar, but you and liars have something in common. So, Lauren, the reason I told that story is when Satterfield said those last two plays were actually supposed to be passing, because I don't call people a liar, I would say, Coach, I'm not calling you a liar. But you and people who lie on this one got a lot in common. Because Coach Satterfield, the passing part was a misdirection. The passing part was a shill, Coach. I know that. You know that. We've watched enough Malik Cunningham basketball to know that. You had no intention. You may have hoped he would have somebody wide open, but in your brain, you knew, like I knew, like Dabo knows. What's my guy's name? The defensive coordinator that's been there forever, Brent Venables. You think Brent Venables didn't know that any wide receiver is a blocker or a distraction? Marshawn Ford is a all-conference tight end. That's the only guy you would even dare look at coming out the backfield on that little route. You're not looking. Or if you have almost like a trick play to a tight end, drew up. So, coach, any wide receivers are blockers or glorified dummies. No, we already got the goal line plays, hand the ball off. Run a bunch of misdirection. And y'all remember when I warned y'all about Malik not carrying out his fakes? And to credit, it took me a while to realize what carrying out fakes and setting up fakes, how important it was. But I knew it by my third year. Running back, line, jet sweep guy. This is my strong side. Running back, up back, right there. Strong side. Harold runs. Right before Harold gets to me, I clap. This football comes back to me. I fake pitch to Harold. I start running this way, and I hand it off to Mitchell or whoever. Everybody, all of us are running this way. My up back is sealing off the edge of that line. Whoever's shooting up right there. My up back is blocking him like his life depends on it. I got my big ass offensive line that's been pushing them all day long. We all running this way as hard as we can. If I'm Malik, I'm running. Listen. I'm running like I got the ball in my hand. I'm probably running like I got the ball covered up. I'm running full speed that way. Everybody on the Clemson team is staring at Harold's fast ass, my fast ass, and the blocking receivers that make that crashing down noise. And we're all running that way. Meanwhile, my running back is running up behind my dominant offensive line. I done cleaned out this side. I got my best blocker out wide or whatever. I got my up back taken out or helping out on the defensive end or undercut, whatever. God knows. But I got this running back going up this gut with just nothing but blockers and space and one guy to follow just in case I need to bounce it outside, and nothing but 2 yards in front of me. And a bunch of linebackers and linemen following me, flowing this way. Right up the gut. And we done hit it with all this misdirection, but our linemen are blocking forward. And our fucking psychotic up back, whoever's willing to knock himself out to get that touchdown, whoever my kamikaze up back is, he's going there to blow somebody's head off, because this is the play that we're going to beat Clemson with. we all know everybody's going to follow Tyler Harrell, Malik Cunningham to the strong side. The last thing you want to do is get in an athleticism match running side talking about a pass play. Coach, you knew there was zero chance. I keep saying Lamar. You knew there was zero chance Malik was even looking to pass that ball, especially if it wasn't Marshawn Ford. Not get him, get Malik. I told y'all the story. I told y'all the TC Stallings story. When TC Stallings had to turn in his paper and he asked me to watch his snake in front of Stevenson Hall. And I told y'all that he told me all I had to do is pull back his snake every, 30 seconds or so. Just pull back the snake. He's going to run to turn in his term paper. It was right by that volleyball field in between Stevenson and Threkel or whatever. And I'm telling y'all, I pulled back that snake every time he slithered. I mean, he wasn't really fast. And I pulled back that snake, and I'm telling y'all, I looked away for 8 seconds. And I looked down, and that snake was nowhere to be found. And if y'all know TC Stallings, he don't mess around about his snakes. I'm saying TC, I probably shouldn't say it, but when I'm telling the story, I got to say Tony, or the story won't sound right. But y'all knew him as Tony Stallings in another life. He's TC now, and I'm proud of him. And when Tony Stallings came back, I had just found the snake. Right as he was coming back around that corner, I thought he was going to kill me. I used to go down to Tony Stallings' room, y'all. Type in that name, by the way. He's an actor. He's great. Type in the name TC Stallings. I think y'all should follow him. He's a good inspirational follow. I used to go down to his room on the 3rd floor, and I'm telling you, that man had a phone. He had a bed. He had one of those wooden halfway rocking chairs or whatever, desk, and he ain't have nothing in it. You know what the other thing he had on this table? A big ass bottle of creatine. That man had the emptiest dorm room on the planet. He had the emptiest dorm room on the planet. It was cold. He ain't had no blinds. He ain't had no rug. He had sandals. He was in there doing push-ups and sit-ups all the time. Y'all remember back then, we used to cut all our shirts down to the hips. Like our shirts used to be hanging on by one little thread down there. But if you was swole, your pecs would be coming out to the side. And y'all remember, Tony had the veins, and his muscles was always on tight, right? He had creatine. He had nothing in that room. And the moment he left school, he got married. I won't put his business, but he's a devout man of God. Very, very devout man of God. So y'all can imagine his social life wasn't the same as most people's. He got married when he finished school, and I went to his wedding. I remember sitting in the back at his wedding right when he got out of school. But yeah, I'm glad you said that name, TC Stallings. Please follow TC Stallings, y'all. It'll be worth the time. But that was a bit of a Midnight with Marcus Bader story. I'm only done if we can't get the guy we need. I'm only done if we can't get the guy that I think can work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He does a lot of good things, y'all. But his flaws, the flaws that he has, are like fatal. I know Tom would have. Excuse me. Fair enough. I'm hurt. That shit hurt, man. And to hear how hurt Steve was, that hurt me even worse. Yeah, they need to. I need our ladies to just blow the doors off the league. And listen, don't count Syracuse as just some chalk it up win. Syracuse playing some good football too. Don't just chalk it up. You think Syracuse don't want some get back? Syracuse got to look at the Lamar leap for the rest of their life. You think Syracuse ain't coming in here feeling like they're the homecoming game? Don't just think they ain't no pushover. Hey y'all, if you're in here, if you've been hanging out in here, you enjoyed the content, please just take a moment and hit the like button. Hit the like button at the very least. Ladies are ready. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm sorry about cursing so much. I'm going to take this off the regular social media, Facebook and Twitter, but I'll leave it up on YouTube because it is what it is. Thanks for supporting the channel, all that good stuff. I know, Tyrone. Yeah, make sure y'all just hit the like button. You know, it's good. It's good so people start at least checking out the videos a little bit. Thank you. I don't even know if I played anything else, but I will do that. You're right. The disclaimer is very important. We won't read the title. We'll just go straight to the disclaimer. Disclaimer is copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you so much, and y'all have a wonderful